It.
This computer over here doesn't have a keyboard.
Uh-huh.
I need to actually go swing by Fry's. Do you guys have Fry's out there? Electronics?
Yes.
Yeah, yeah. I got to get a keyboard for this computer over here. I basically have I can either talk to the computer, like I push a button and say, "Hey, open up Google Chrome," and it'll do it. It wouldn't let me do it, so I just had to restart. But it has like a keyboard that I can see on the screen that I can, mouse click or
Mm-hmm.
whatever. Hey, this is Johnny Bean. 5:11 p.m. Pacific, California time. 8:11 p.m. New York City time. February 27, 2017. Welcome everybody. It's there we go. I'm restarting. Monday, it says. It's Monday.
It is.
Who is this? It says David on the thing. How are you doing, David?
It's definitely David. I'm doing well. How are you?
I'm good. I'm crazy day yesterday, man. We can talk about that.
Okay.
Welcome everybody. I restarted my computer so I can see the chat box.
Oh, you can, because I was going to say hello to everyone.
Oh, go ahead. Yeah, I can't see anything.
So we have Tat Freak, Rick Smith, Richard Schick, Bagged Cereals, Sean Zimmerman, J.J. Collins, Michael Smith, 5150 Fly Guy, Frank Corsican, sorry, I always say that wrong, Cheryl Wentz, The Vigilant, I said Tat Freak, but I'll say it again, Leanne, Frank C., Pris 46, Desiree Dornan, Michael James, Black Belt Yellow Belly, Ron Paget, Trip Machine. Now, Trip Machine, have you been here before? Welcome if you haven't.
Who? Trip Machine?
Yeah, welcome if you have.
I know Trip Machine. That's Gustavo.
Oh, okay. Hey, Gustavo.
He just sent me a message on Facebook,
Cool.
just like 20 minutes, half an hour ago, telling me that he just got right.
Hold on to that thought. We have more. Kevin Landorf. Nice to see you, Kevin. Nick Horton.
Nick.
J Wall 1965. Charlie S. Diamond Dave Lucy.
Diamond Dave.
Yes, I am Gustavo.
Yes, he is Gustavo. I know Gustavo. He's Trip Machine.
43 people watching right now. Ad Rock is here.
Yo, man.
Hello, 43 people watching. 11 thumbs up. And Greg Walker's here. Nice. Sinner's here. Stefan. William Gallo. William Gallo asks, hey, Johnny, how was the show? Darren Moore is here.
It was great. Hey, Darren. Good to see you, dude. Congratulations on your banner that you got. He got a banner. Pretty cool.
Oh, nice.
Saw it on Facebook.
Your Huckleberry is here. Kyle Timms is here.
Welcome, everybody. I'm sorry. I'm trying to enter. I'm trying to get this computer running on this side so I can chat with you guys.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Sean Shiraz here. Let's see. Kyle Timms, I think I just got your friend request this weekend. I think I answered you and said yes. If I'm not mistaken. Welcome. Welcome to our friendship.
Yeah, friendship. He'll add anybody. He'll add anybody, man. He'll add anybody and everybody on Facebook.
Yeah, even the one thumbs down, I'll add that guy too.
He'll add you.
Mike as himself is here.
You know.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I need to disable the friend requests on my Facebook because I'm getting nothing but bots.
Yeah, me too. I've been getting them too. And all I do is just
because you
decline.
Oh.
I click go to Johnny Bean.
No. Well, at first I couldn't tell who was real and who wasn't. Now you can tell. It doesn't just
yeah.
take it doesn't just take somebody in a bikini to say like, no, this isn't real, right? Usually, if it's a bot, if they have 3 names and their last name should be their first name, and it makes it easier because they are in a bikini as well. But
Mhm.
but yeah, I need to disable that, or I don't know. Maybe I should probably do that and just tell people if. Remember how it was in the old days? Was it back in was it the MySpace days or whatever, where you could actually send somebody a message first? You weren't on MySpace, huh?
I was never on MySpace.
No.
No, Brian Davies. Hey, man. Eduardo's here too.
Hey, Eduardo, dude. Okay, here we go. Here we go. Finally, hang on. I'm sorry. Hang on one sec. Open Google Chrome. Oh, come on. Robots. I just got this computer now. Here. Open Google Chrome.
Cheryl Wentz says, hey, everybody, this is a little off track, but we need to say a prayer for Lynn and her sister. Her sister's in the hospital. Oh, only good thoughts for Lynn and your sister and her sister.
I'm sorry to hear that.
Yeah, me too.
Man. Okay. All right. I got my window.
Good.
Going here, so now I can see what's going on. One more second.
My God.
I had to
49 people watching.
Had to restart this thing. Yeah. Hey, everybody. Come on. Everybody's had computer problems. I think that they know what I'm trying to go through here. Maybe. Now I just have to find a link to this.
I'll just be over here.
Okay. Okay, here we go. Here we are. Here we are. Yeah, anyway, so yeah, welcome everybody. 51. Welcome all 51 of you.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you for jumping in here and joining us tonight. Yeah, I figure I can tell you guys about my gig yesterday.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Mike as himself has a question real quick though, before you get into that.
Mm-hmm.
He says, Dave, what do you think of compound radius versus regular radius? Any Floyd issues with compound? No, there shouldn't be. It'll be easier to bend strings up, up after the 12th fret, past the 12th fret too with a compound radius. Usually, when it's one radius, especially if it's 7 1/4 inch, you have to have really high action for it not to fret out. But compound radius is great because you get that roundness when you're playing the cowboy chords, and it's nice and flat up top, so you can bend strings, and it's easier for soloing. And it shouldn't have any problems with Floyd Roses.
Compound radius. I don't even know. I don't understand that at all.
Compound radius means there's more than one radius. So, like if someone says,
what's a radius?
Radius is the fretboard, the roundness of the fretboard.
So from like
west
to east.
You're a music man. The fretboard, the whole fretboard from top to bottom, from high E from low E to high E, that way. Your guitar is a 10-inch radius, so it's semi-curved. It's not terribly flat. The Wolfgang is 12 to 16-inch radius, so it's a lot flatter. That might be one of the problems you have with playing that guitar. It's probably the flattest radius guitar you have, and that might be one of the reasons why it's tough for you to play any other guitar afterwards.
The PV Wolfgang.
Yeah.
The PV Wolfgang. It's a great guitar, but I've said for some reason you playing that neck, the flatness.
Yeah,
the flatness of it.
But realize when you get your EVH Wolfgang set up and ready, that's also going to have the same radius. It's gonna have 12 to 16-inch radius.
As the PV?
Yeah. Yes,
really?
Absolutely. Yeah, they're all the same.
It doesn't feel the same to me.
Well, it's probably the back that's different. It's the back, but the fretboard is the same.
So the back of the neck doesn't have anything to do with radius. Is radius just the top, the
Yes.
fretboard top itself?
Correct. Yes.
Okay. I
Mark Uzansky's here.
did not know that.
Yeah,
Hey,
Adam
man.
Scheinberg is here.
Adam, dude. Everybody, thank you for being here. If it wasn't for you, we would just be sitting here talking to each other, and
Oh, and what a mess that would be.
that'd get so boring. Man, there'd be no laughing. There'd be no smiling. Yeah, cool. Yeah, I'm always hearing about radius. I never knew what that. I figured that had to do with the shape of the neck somehow. I mean, because that's what they say. But
Zabo Wabo says the EVH Wolfgang has the compound radius, but the PV does not. It only has one radius the whole way. So it's probably a 12. It's probably either, I don't even know what it is. I know it's flat, but it's one radius the whole way down. So but the EVH is 12-inch to 16-inch. Starts, at the first position is 12-inch radius. So it's a little rounder than it is down the fretboard.
okay, I still don't understand, but we'll figure it out.
Well, hang on a second. Hang on, real quick.
You just get out of the shower?
No, I did not just get out of the shower.
Oh.
Why does it look? Does it look like?
There's a towel sitting there on your chair.
Yes, I know. That's my EVH towel. All right. So here's your EVH Wolfgang. Here in the cowboy cards, from here to here, it's 12-inch radius.
So west to east.
Well, whatever it is. I don't know. It's,
East to west.
low E string to high E string on the top, from here, from up and down.
The distance between me and you. California to New York.
Okay.
That direction. That's what you're saying.
Whatever.
Sideways.
And as you go down the fretboard, it gets flatter and flatter. And up here, it's 16-inch. So it's flatter up here than it is down here. So it's nice and comfortable playing the cowboy chords. It fits in your palm really nicely in this part of your palm for your fingers. And then when you're soloing, you can do 2-step bends on every string and it won't fret out. And you can have really low action.
Okay, cool.
So do you understand that now?
I can't read music either. I'm sorry.
Oh my God. I feel like I just gave birth and I can't explain it again.
Gross.
Yes, Mark Uzansky says vertical instead of north to south. It's
Yes, I keep saying.
Oh no, yeah.
Sideways.
North to south, this way, not this way.
North to south.
Whatever.
East to west.
Okay, whatever you say.
Whatever. Who's on first?
Whatever you say. I gotta go. I'm done. It was nice seeing you all. Bye.
Finally.
God.
I'm trying to get rid of this guy for months.
Dude, if you can do a better job without me. Go ahead.
Okay. So what? Okay, so we're talking about radiuses.
Well, that's it. We're done with radius. Now we can talk about your show. How about that?
Okay. What? Okay. Well, anyway, did any of you guys watch the Lynn? I'm very sorry to hear about that.
Yes, absolutely.
It's the first I'm hearing of this today from
Same here.
Cheryl. Yeah. Yes. Any of you guys watch the Academy Awards last night?
I didn't. I was thinking of you though.
Well, normally I wouldn't have. Is that a word? I haven't watched any award show in decades.
Mm-hmm.
I think the last award show was the Lynn was the Grammys where a relative of mine got a Grammy.
Mm-hmm.
I think that was the last time I watched any kind of awards thing. But anyway, I've been playing with this band for actually for many years now. Just different kinds of what different members. You know, it's the same singer, same drummer, different bass players, different other guitar players, different. You know, we've had saxophone players. You know, all different kinds of stuff. Um, and so anyway, for the past couple years, we've been doing this thing at this warehouse in Oakland, California, downtown Oakland, where they have an Academy Awards viewing party, where basically you just you show up, well, it costs to get in. It's you dress nice. There's a red carpet. You can get your photo taken. You know, holding a trophy, whatever. You know. And basically, people that they watch the show on like a screen, like it's like projected on the wall. It's like an artist's studio, so there's all kinds of art and stuff there. And anyway, so basically, you can watch the whole program, the whole show, and then during the commercials, they turn the volume down, and we, meaning myself, the singer, and the drummer, we play songs. You know, so it's like live entertainment or whatever. You know.
Mm-hmm.
So anyway, so that's what I did last night. The end. But no, as far as like the awards show, I sat there and I watched it. I hadn't seen one movie of any of that stuff. Most of the people there, I don't know who they are. That's
Wow.
It's not my thing.
Yeah, I would never have. I haven't watched a movie in years. Well, other than the new Star Wars. That's the last movie I've seen, and I don't remember what movie I've seen before that. Maybe it was E.T.
Emmanuel.
No, I never saw that one. Never saw that one.
Whoa. Is somebody calling me from here?
It's probably Joe Wentz.
No, if he's in San Francisco.
Oh.
I actually think this is a spam.
You hear Brandy drinking?
Yeah. I think that's a spammer, actually. Yeah. So I hadn't seen any of those films. It's fun to watch though, because they bring out, people that have been around. Shirley MacLaine, came out. But I know everybody's talking about the ending of the thing, and that was crazy. What'd you guys think? What'd you guys think of that whole ending? Is anybody even listening to me at all?
I'm listening.
I don't think so.
I have something to say.
Oh yeah, Greg is. Greg knows.
I definitely have something to say about the ending, but I don't want to, I don't want anyone to think that I'm political, because I'm not. But yeah, that's all I'm going to say. Forget it. I'm not going to say anything.
Yeah, it was hysterical. Adam says. Yeah. Okay, we won't. Well, I guess we won't say anything. Although everybody knows. Everybody knows what happened.
Yeah.
And I didn't see either movie.
Was that Meryl Streep, right? She's the one who
Was it?
I think it was Meryl Streep. No, Meryl Streep who said it was the wrong film.
Well, Lynn doesn't want to know, but it's everywhere. You can't escape it.
I mean, it's not like we're it's not a spoiler. I mean, all you got to do is just watch the news. It's there.
Faye Dunaway, Adam says.
Oh, I thought. Well, forget it.
I'm not sure who it was.
No, I thought it was Meryl Streep. Never mind then.
Jessica Lange. What's going on? Okay. Anyway, either way, it wasn't Warren Beatty's fault. So there you go. Yeah.
Lynn's
Yeah.
like, la 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 la.
I
I
know.
can't hear you.
I
I
saw
can't
that.
hear you.
She's like la 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 land. Yeah. Which I hadn't I didn't see any of those movies, but anyway, it was a good time. Had a laugh, you know, with a bunch of cool people. Um, I I live streamed. Cheryl, you were there. You I know you watched some of it. Cheryl Wentz, everybody. I live streamed all of our except one. I think I skipped one, but all of our performances I live streamed over Periscope. So if you guys want to see, basically last night it's there. Although it was it was much better in person. You know, our just the whole evening. You know.
hmm
Anyway, that's something I was going to tell you though. That's something I was going to talk to you guys about since we talked about it. Cheryl, thank you. Cheryl says she did, and it was awesome. Yeah, I noticed she was watching us. There was a few other people that were watching. But you know, like you rehearse. Leanne watched. Cool. Thank you. Hey Timothy, welcome. What am I trying to say? You know, you rehearse. You rehearse for a gig. Michael Smith was watching too. Thank you, dude. You rehearse for a show. You know, you rock it out. You know, you get your let's say you play guitar. You know, let's say you play an instrument. You get all your gear ready. You know, you're gonna use everything planned out. I'm gonna use the Friedman overdrive. You know, for this solo on this song. I'm gonna use the EVH 50 on this song. I'm gonna use the whatever on whatever. Right. Get everything worked out. You get to a place. You do sound check. You're like, yeah, this is great. The guy that owns the place comes walking in. You guys are too loud. He comes walking in like this. No, you guys are gonna be that. You guys aren't gonna play that loud during the show, are you? And I was like, ugh. So I ended up not using anything. I ended up basically doing guitar solos on the clean channel. I mean, it wasn't anything like I'd prepared. You know, it was almost like I mean, it was great. It was still great, but do you know what I mean?
I do.
You said you were in a wedding band for 25 years. You know, you show up ready to do your thing, like you know what you're going to do, and then next thing you know, you can't use all the power behind you because it's too much. You know what I mean?
Well,
It's almost like you have like a flamethrower. Oh, can I say that on here? Uh-oh. I guess you can talk about your day now.
yeah, because we're going to delete this anyway.
Well, we delete every other one of these, you know. No, but you have like all the power behind you, and then you show up and you end up having to almost play acoustically.
Yeah, that's happened.
Through like through a huge stack of amps or something, because they're like, you guys are too loud, you got to turn down, and so you can't do what you really want to do, or what you thought you were going to do. Yeah. But it was still cool, you know.
Well, you know, I've had gigs in that wedding band where we would just have to play through the monitors facing back at us, and have to turn the mains off. And everything's mic'd, even the drums, everything's mic'd, guitar cabinet, whatever. So you can hear everything, but it's definitely harder when you got people telling you you're too loud even before you even start. That's starting with like 2 strikes against you already. It's hard. When you're worried about your volume, when you're worried about someone coming up to tell you that you're too loud the whole night, it definitely takes the vibe away. It's a negative. It's really not good.
Ron said he tried to watch, but his Periscope wasn't cooperating. I can't pronounce words. Cooperating. Is that it? Coop?
No, cooperating.
Coop.
Forget it.
His Periscope wasn't happening, basically. Yeah. Yeah, I'm starting to wonder about Periscope. It's been cool, but then I went and watched. Is that? I went and looked at one of the videos, and there was no sound to one of them. I don't know if it was just the playback. I don't know if it was like that. I don't know. I don't know if I can trust Periscope. Well, actually, the audio is kind of weird. Like it sounds good, and then all of a sudden gets kind of strange, and then gets good again. And corroborating, is that it?
No.
William says. Yeah. Cheryl says that we watched through Twitter. Yeah, because Periscope is owned by Twitter, so it's through Twitter. If you guys want to see the videos, which I don't know, I might delete them as well. Go to Real Johnny Bean on Twitter, and you'll see all the stuff there. Yeah, so it was fun. It was a lot of fun, but you can tell if you watch watching the videos, if you watch like the way I'm playing and stuff, I'm really holding back, and I'm really like trying to do my thing, and it, yeah, you know.
Yeah, I know how it is.
And that's how it's been actually with many of these gigs with this group, is we show up and I can't even use, I can't even use a tube screamer, because it's too loud,
Well, how about turning the input gain down on the tube screamer?
It's not just that, it's just all around. It's the whole band, not just me.
I'm not saying it's just you, but if you're saying you couldn't use your tube screamer because you would be too loud, then just turn the gain, not the gain, turn the level down on the tube screamer a little bit, so it matches your clean sound.
Well, that's the other thing too, because some of the gigs, you barely get time for a sound check, and so by the time you sound check your clean sound, oh, let me go sound check this pedal. Oh, whoops, there's people in here looking at me. The audience is already there, and and there's there is a soundboard, but we run it ourselves. We just turn everything up as loud as we can without feeding back, and then basically have to play around that. It's always different. If you play shows, if you play gigs, if you play with a lot of different bands like I do, it's always a different situation. It's not like it's always like that. There's times where I'm not loud enough, and they're like, Johnny, turn up. And I walk out of there and I'm just like a zombie, like, oh,
Yeah.
You ever done that? You ever walked out of a rehearsal or a show and you're just totally deaf?
Yeah.
But all you hear is just the screaming in your head.
That's when I tell the other people in my head to be quiet.
Yeah, man. Yeah. You wouldn't believe the ringing I have in this ear, man. All the time. I've had it for 5 years. It's never gone away. But a gig like last night, I didn't need earplugs. Yeah. Anyway, huh? Somebody's saying William Hamer has 3 coils. Never seen that. He says that's actually the Hamer Phantom. That's actually that's a humbucker and then a single coil on top of the humbucker in the same ring. So it's 2 different pickups. It just looks like 3 coils. Ron says tinnitus or tinnitus. Yeah, I've got that, man. I definitely have it. So wear your earplugs, please.
Yeah, it's bad news. I get it sometimes, but it goes away.
Oh.
Luckily, it gets to go away.
Yeah, I get it sometimes and it goes away, but then there's the stuff that's there that's been there for years that doesn't go away, and you learn to live with it. You have to. Otherwise, you'll go totally insane. And it's not fun. It really isn't fun. You think, you walk out of a rehearsal after playing, super, super loud. You're like, man, that was a great, that rehearsal must have been great because I can't hear anything, and that's not, no. Yeah. It's
Yeah, Mark says he has it also. He's got tinnitus also. It's, all of us that played loud for all those years. And Mark, you were a drummer first, so cymbals have to have killed your ears.
Cymbals do it, yeah. Yeah. Oh, especially for drummers because they can't escape it.
Yeah.
It's right there in front of them. They're surrounded by it, you know. Um, but it's yeah. And that's the thing. Most people won't. Most musicians, most anybody, if you're a gigging musician, if you've been around, you know, most everybody has it. They just, you never hear about it. People don't talk about it, or people joke about it. Like, what? Huh? It's like you're 35, huh? You know?
Yeah.
And yeah, it's terrible. It's awful. Um, but it is preventable, but then not really though too. You can get it other ways. You can get it from the dentist. You can get it from surgery.
Sure, you can get it from anything that anything that hurts the ears and the ear canal. Absolutely anything. And your ears and your teeth, everything's connected. So if you do something bad with the teeth, it's all connected in that canal. So it's believe me, I remember having a bad toothache. I was younger, and I flew in an airplane, and because of that toothache, when I got in the air, it gave me the worst. Like it was the worst pain I've ever endured in my life. The earache was it was horrible because of my tooth. It's horrible.
Mm-hmm. And most people, probably most people watching this, I would think, have been to concerts and they walk out of the show and their ears are really like ringing, and they ring for like a day or 2 days and then goes away, right? But if you guys don't know what tinnitus sounds like, if you've been to the dentist and let's say they're drilling on a tooth, let's say you're numbed up, right? So you're fine, but they're drilling on that tooth, and all of a sudden you hear like this high pitched squealing in your ear. That's the same thing.
Mm-hmm.
That's the same thing. So I hate that when I go to the dentist and they're drilling away and I hear that, because I already have the stuff in this ear that's already bad. I hear that and I'm thinking, oh, it's dreadful, because it's like, man, I hope that stops. I hope once they're done drilling, I hope that sound goes away, because I do not want to be stuck with that sound.
Yeah.
Why are we talking about this? Either way,
it's part of being a musician.
I guess so. Yeah, this is musician chat, everybody.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. But yeah, wear your earplugs. The thing is, though, man, the ringing I got in this ear, I was wearing earplugs when I got it. So that's the other thing.
Well, apparently then you have a lawsuit because those earplugs weren't working.
Well, it's even earplugs aren't 100%.
Right, I know. Yeah.
So,
yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah. Greg Walker says he went to AC/DC in 1980. Ears rang for 3 days, he says.
My goodness.
Oh yeah, I remember going to concerts. I remember going to see, Van Halen. Let's see. Well, the last few tours, I've worn earplugs. I've totally stocked up on earplugs and even earmuffs, but I remember going to concerts, let me think. Let's say Van Halen, and I remember seeing them in, let's say Omaha. I saw them in Omaha, Nebraska in 1992. Great show. And that would have been the tour that they had filmed for Right Here, Right Now. Right? It would have been the exact same thing, the same set, same everything. Probably wearing the same clothes, right? Because I think the show they filmed for that, the footage, I think, was a little later. Anyway, I remember going to school the next day, and just my ears were totally just gone. Here's another thing. Here's another one. I remember one time. This is when I was a kid. I was taking guitar lessons, and these lessons that I was taking, it was like a group lesson at like a mall at this like store at this mall, right? And you show up in these lessons, you show up and it's like a group class of kids with your guitars, but the only one that's plugged in is the teacher. So everybody else, you're not plugged into an amp. You're just like playing the guitar, like the electric guitar, just acoustically, looking at the piece of paper. All right. I remember I was out playing with my friends that morning, playing. What were we? 12, you know, and my friends were shooting off fireworks some morning, right? I had a firework go off in my face. That's what happened. If you guys,
that's why you look that way.
that's what happened, you know. But anyway, I'm just joking. It blew my good looks right away. No, I'm just kidding. No, so the firework goes off, and I end up going to the guitar lesson. Couldn't hear nothing but ringing, insane craziness. I basically had to watch. It was almost like I had to watch and see what they were doing, and just watch what they were doing because I couldn't hear anything because there was no amps, you know. But either way, I don't know. Where are your earplugs?
What?
You know, huh? Whatever. It's rock and roll though too. It's rock and roll. If your ears aren't ringing a little bit, you know, you haven't rocked out enough either. So come on.
Rock out.
Rock off, man.
52 people watching at the moment, 27 thumbs ups. It's
Thank
always
you.
nice to see that. Thank you so much, everybody.
Yeah, thank you for joining us.
Steve Anderson's here.
Steve Anderson is in the house.
Oh.
You're not late, man. You can always rewind it.
Blaster Kid as well. I don't know who that is. I don't know who Blaster Kid is, but welcome.
Hey, man. Yeah, it says tinnitus is not fun though. It's not. It's not. Although in a very, very weird way, because I've had this ringing in this ear for so long. I mean, I go to sleep at night and it's just, you know. In a way, I wish it was gone, but in another way, it's comforting in a way to hear it because it's always there. It's like my friend in a way, if that makes any kind of weird sense.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Is that weird?
Yeah. Yes, it's weird.
You know,
that's weird, dude. Yeah.
It is weird. It is weird.
Do you talk to yourself too?
I talk to myself nonstop, man. Are you real? Are you a real guy? I don't even know if you're real, man.
Me?
Am I sitting here talking to myself? I'm just kidding. I'm just playing. But no, man. The cool thing though, when I go outside, my ringing is not so severe where I go outside and it goes away because it blends in with everything else. And if I ever need relief, I can just go in the bathroom, and I know what you're gonna say, but that's not it. I can turn on the faucet. I can turn on the water, and the running water actually the running water is like the best. If you have ringing in your ears, go turn on the faucet, and that's the best sound in the world.
It's the best, Jerry.
It's the best, Jerry. It really is. And you can actually get soothing sounds off iTunes. I did this years ago. I had to. You can get stuff like I think they call it like tinnitus relief or something, and it's all sounds of running water, waterfalls, the ocean, you know, all that kind of stuff. It helps. It helps.
You know what I use? I have a humidifier in my room that makes just enough sound that I don't hear total silence, and that's good.
Like white noise.
Not really white. Yeah, kind of, but not really. It
in your room?
Tiny bit. Yeah, in my bedroom.
And that's all brown sounds. And I'm not talking the kind that we like.
Very funny.
Oh, trust me.
All about that.
Trust me, we've heard them.
On another note.
Yeah.
So
no. The white noise thing, that doesn't help me. No, like static on the TV or whatever they call it. There was a website you could go to and you could play the sounds, and it just sounds like static. That for me, that doesn't help. That doesn't help at all. The sound of running water helps me, you know.
Right.
But then, you know, you hear that long enough and you're like, oh man, I gotta use the bathroom.
Mm. Cat Dumpling asks, "Hey, Mr. Nesdall, do you know the actual size of fret wire on the Wolfgangs instead of jumbo, in parentheses, 0.057 times 0.110 on my Strat last week? I actually kind of hate it. So thinking of alternatives." And Cat Dumpling, no, unfortunately, I don't know the actual number, the number configuration for fret wire. But what I normally use when I get my guitars refretted, I use 6100 wire, which is the jumbo wire. I believe Dunlop is the fret wire. It's Dunlop 6100 wire. I don't know if that's going to help you, but I know that the USA EVH Wolfgangs, that's vintage fret. So yes, it's stainless steel, but it's the vintage size, and whatever Fender uses for vintage size frets, you can go by that. You can get the numbers from that. Unfortunately, I don't have the numbers right here, so I apologize.
Uh-oh, your train's here.
Yeah, that train is every half hour.
Well, that's probably not so bad. I used to live in this town called Crockett, Crockett, California, and we lived across the street from the C&H sugar factory.
Mm-hmm.
Every half hour, you would hear the loudest horn you've ever heard in your life, and you just eventually get used to it. Eventually, it's like, huh? What?
Yeah.
Oh, that's nothing. Wait a minute. Somebody said something on here. Let me. Sorry. The
And while you're reading that, Michael Smith. No, I don't really read music. I play by ear mostly.
Steve Anderson, Johnny, how did the show go last night? Ah, it was great, man. It was great. I was just talking about it a little while ago.
Mm-hmm.
Somebody else said something.
So, Cat Dumpling, you can try 6105 fret wire. 6105 is tall but thin, so it's the width of a vintage fret but taller. You might like that better. Check that out.
Yeah. Oh, I know something I was going to say. Cheryl, is Joe watching this? Is Joe listening? Here's a couple things. Steve Anderson, that's true. I do love the EVH Stripe Series 1550.
I'm beginning to think that Steve has that like on a, it's actually he just presses one button and that appears. And the next one he says he ordered one and is still waiting for it.
Uh-huh.
That's coming.
Yeah.
I know it.
Yeah. That's an amazing guitar. I was very, very, very lucky enough to play it at the NAMM show this year, and I'm looking forward to playing another one again. The neck is amazing. You guys will love it. You guys will love it. No, something I was going to say though. This relates to what we were just saying. Last night I broke down, and I got the Taco Bell naked chicken chalupa. Okay, I got it. Look at him; he's going crazy. Because I drove from Oakland to Santa Cruz. Like I drove an hour and a half, to get home last night, and I was starving. I wanted to get down here as fast as I could, so I swing by. Thank you, John. So I swing by Taco Bell, and this is in Capitola, California, and usually, I don't know if it's that location, but it's kind of sketchy. It's pretty sketchy, there's a lot of sketchy people just all around that location, and they're in there, they're out there, and normally I wouldn't have gone in, but there was two police officers that walked right in, so I just followed them in, thinking, okay, I'll be fine, So we walk in, and so anyway, so they ordered their stuff, I ordered the thing, I went and got in my car and basically ate it on the way home. Actually, no, I pulled over. Which salsa did I get on it? Richard says. I just got it just regular. however it is, just the regular way. I will tell you that thing is spicy. It does have a kick to it, which was
It's a
cool.
spicy meatball.
Yeah, yeah,
It's a spicy chicken a sandwich.
yeah. Anyway, it was pretty good. It actually was pretty good. But aside from waking up this morning, just in the worst pain you can imagine, besides that,
It's
um,
good going down, but not after a while.
well, yeah. Aside from that, though, as far as talking about ringing in the ears, tinnitus,
Oh boy.
salt, sodium kicks it up. You eat a lot of salt, a lot of sodium, your ears ring. The ringing in your ears is going to go straight up. It aggravates it. So if you have ringing in your ears, and if you want to take care of it and not make it worse, stay away from sodium. And that's true. I'm not joking. I'm not always joking around on here.
Yes, I am though. Johnny, you're the salt of the ringing in my ears.
Did you read that?
No,
Did you? The salt of what?
you're the
Okay.
salt to the ringing in my ears. Painful.
Man. But
Oh,
anyway,
come on.
anyway, as far as that chicken sandwich, whatever that was. Hey, Mary Joan, how are you? Huh? As far as that naked chicken chalupa from Taco Bell, it actually is pretty good. I'll admit that. They actually it still tastes like Taco Bell, you know.
Hmm.
Um,
It's got that odor.
yeah, it does. It does. It's pretty good though. I wouldn't eat it every day, you know. I stay away. I really don't. As a lot of you guys know, the only fast food that I eat is Chipotle, and I don't know if that is fast food. I guess it is, but
It's better fast food. It's not horrible for you, but you shouldn't eat it every day.
yeah. Well, no, I don't. I have Chipotle usually once a week when I go up to Walnut Creek. Is when I have that.
Hmm.
But McDonald's, Burger King. Who was just telling me they had something amazing for Burger King today, and I'm like, wait a minute, it was you.
I'm not saying a word.
It was before we went live. You're like, Johnny, you wouldn't believe it. I just had the most amazing chicken sandwich from Burger King,
I did.
and I'm like,
You know why? Because it was quick and I'm late, and I just had it just before we got on here. Because if I would have waited till we're done, it's too late to eat. I can't eat at 10 o'clock at night. And
man.
yes, my fault for waiting so late to eat, but
Yeah, yeah. Anyway, Burger King.
none of it's
Nah.
good. None of it's good, and none of it's good for you. You just, I picked and choose my battles, and I got a chicken sandwich. What can I tell you?
Oh man, but the best.
Jerry.
If the best, Jerry. If any of you guys come out here to California, stop by In-N-Out Burger. It's the best, man. In-N-Out. There's another place out here called The Habit. Do you guys have Habit Burger out there?
No.
Anyway, The Habit is good. You guys have Five Guys, right?
Yes.
Five Guys. The burger is good. The fries, I could
They're
do without.
way too much oil.
Oh
Too
man,
oily.
way too
And you
much.
know what? The burger is a little oily too. It's not great. Tastes good, but it's messy.
Yeah, yeah. But yeah, In-N-Out's the best. But
Yeah.
it's all bad for your tinnitus though, all of it.
Yes, I know.
So stay away if your ears are ringing. Stay away from all that stuff.
Hmm.
You know.
Yeah, I know. Mark Huzansky knows all about the In-N-Out burger.
Mm-hmm.
If
All
he's
about
still
it.
here. I know he knows all about it. He had it every night for 1 week or a weekend
2 nights in a row.
during the NAM show.
I don't know. Well, I don't know if I could have In-N-Out 2 nights in a row. I mean, it's good. It is good, but it's still. Yeah.
Uh-oh. Is that Joe Wentz?
No. No. Yeah, I can let that go to voicemail. That's fine.
Okay.
No. Um. Huh? Ask Johnny. Ask me what? Whataburger. There's so many different places.
Yeah, I don't
There's
know.
so many. But anyway, as far as fast food, or as far as any kind of a restaurant that's just above fast food, for me, Chipotle is where I go. Even though they had their scare, a couple years ago, I stayed away for a little while and then went back, and it's you know
So is it Whataburger or is it Whataburger? Is that what is it?
I don't know. Yeah, I get you
56
take one
people
bite. You
watching.
take one bite. You're like, what a burger! Wow.
Yeah, I think that's why they named it that.
Five Guys is good too. Jim says, Jim is here. Jim, is it Nicholson's? Oh, it's Nichols.
Nicholas, like Saint
It's
Nicholas.
it's Nicholas. Okay. Five Guys is rough, and the chips. Sorry, you call them fries? Huh? In peanut oil? What the f is that? Huh? Brian Davies is saying Five Guys. Do they have Five Guys where you are, man? Or I guess maybe you came out here. Brian, you're in England, right? Isn't it? Or what? Whoops. I think I said he was from somewhere and he wasn't, and I think he got really mad one time. Brian, where are you? Oh, now everybody's talking about burgers. Look at this. Man, I wish yeah, you guys watching this like later on. I wish you could see all the comments in here. It's incredible.
Well,
Everybody's talking to each other about burgers and
yes. Well, first of all, Zabo, Wabo. Mr. Bean, I'm building a guitar heavily based on the Ernie Ball Music Man EVH, like the one sitting behind you. Want to see pics? Yeah, send us pics. In fact, put it on our EVH Gear live page. We'd love to see that. And Scotty P, Dave, have you ever tried a Wolfgang pickup in a Les Paul? No, I haven't. I would imagine that it would sound good, but probably really overdriven and I would say probably a little too much low end because they're very hot pickups to begin with, and in a body that's mahogany with maple probably would be a little too much pickup. But I mean, you can EQ anything to sound good. I'm sure it would sound good. Lick Max, hey Dave, why? I don't know.
The chat room is insane. It's just nonstop.
I want to know who Ebby is.
Ebby. Johnny Rockets.
I've had Johnny Rockets. We have that here.
There's is Johnny Rockets and what's the other place? Fuddruckers.
Yeah, I've had that too.
I'm thinking
that's more of a like an ale house with with burgers.
Yeah, well, I'm thinking those places like the Hard Rock Cafe. They're all kind of the same kind of stuff, right?
Yeah. Like Chili's and what is it? Applebee's and all that stuff. Mark Huzansky says he has an EVH Frankie pickup in his Les Paul, and he says it's too much. So I'm thinking that that a Wolfgang pickup in a Les Paul is going to be on the same level as a Frankie pickup.
What? Too much meaning?
Too much meaning maybe too overdriven or just too much low end.
Too much bass?
Yeah, maybe. In a Les Paul, yeah, because Les Pauls are very, very big, round-sounding guitars to begin with. And generally, you don't want a very hot pickup in a Les Paul because it'll be too much.
Mm-hmm.
You want something that's going to be between 7 and 8K, but a Wolfgang pickup is going to be 14 to 16K, and again the same with with a Frankenstein pickup, and that's just, you know, they're very hot.
Mm-hmm.
What else do we have here? I'm reading, so I'm sorry for the dead air.
Well, they're
Yeah, it's the chat box is going
that's what you call it.
crazy. Yeah.
Every time Nesdal walks out of the bathroom, oh, I'm sorry about the dead air in there. That was from my.
Yeah, we're really gonna delete this.
That was from Burger King. There's so many. Timothy, Johnny B. I bought the Wolfgang pickup and installed it in my early '80s Charvel DiMarzio Mutt. Awesome pickup. The Wolfgang pickup. You're talking about the EVH Wolfgang pickups. I love them. I think they're great. I would put them in everything. I don't see what your guys' problem is. I'd put them in every guitar I had.
Well, that's you. That's what you like. Kenny Dave says, "Hey Dave, is there a neck tilt adjustment on any of your EVH guitars?" No, the only neck adjustment, the only neck tilt adjustment is a little bit of a business card in the neck pocket, which tilts the neck back, and that's only if it needs it.
Somebody, Frank says, I have P90s in my Les Paul. That's another thing. I love P90s, man. Love them. If I could, I would have all EVH Wolfgang pickups and all P90s in all my guitars. I would have EVH. If EVH is listening, I would love an EVH P90 pickup. That would be amazing.
Yeah, but how about having it in a PAF, like, you know, so that you could fit it in the hole of your Wolfgang, but it is a P90 in the cover.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
So you don't have to route it for anything else.
Well, because I already use the Duncan Fat Cat.
Yeah,
those are P90s in a regular humbucker size. I've been using those for years and years and years. Love them. But I'm such a huge fan of the EVH Wolfgang pickups. You know, it'd be cool if you guys EVH, if you're listening, I would love EVH single coils. You know, I would love P90s. Just, you know, anything with that sound. You know.
Yeah,
love that stuff. Love it.
Mary Joan asks, how do I adjust my guitar to sound like Ed's for the song Ain't Talking About Love? That's, well, it's kind of hard to explain unless you know, because everyone's amp is a little bit different. I would try bringing the gain, you know, the distortion of your amp up a little bit. Probably keep the you know what, it's hard to, without knowing exactly what amp and the way you have your dial set, it's kind of hard to answer that question accurately. What I would do is keep your bass probably at around 1 o'clock, your mids at about 10 o'clock, and your highs at about 1 o'clock, and start there.
Yeah, yeah, like Fit from Fly Guys, and it's not just the EQ of the amp. There's a little bit of like delay on there as well.
Yes, and tune the guitar a half step down,
and you can hear it.
Yep,
you can hear it. That's actually what would make some of the magic. Some of the magic of that is that delay on there.
Yeah.
Oh, you owe me a Coke, although you don't, because I don't drink Coke.
Well, what do you drink?
I drink Starbucks.
All right, well,
you owe me a Starbucks, man.
I'll send you a Starbucks in the mail.
You can. I know you think you're joking, but you can.
I know you can.
Yes. I'll if any of you guys listening, I'll greatly take a Starbucks in the mail.
Hmm.
I had to stop myself today from getting a Starbucks.
Metal Man 9 says, I bought a 5153 Stealth Head first edition. Thoughts on that amp? Any known drawbacks? No, I think that amp is great. I think the green channel is not as clean as it should be, but I mean, it sounds amazing. If you turn back the volume on your guitar a bit, it'll clean up nicely, and it's a fantastic amplifier.
Yeah. They're amazing, man. You can get so many different sounds out of that stuff. That's something else I was gonna say. I was gonna, in my show notes or whatever this is. I played that gig last night, and I used this guitar right here, and no, I didn't play any Van Halen songs or anything remotely sounding like Van Halen. So that's one of the cool things about the equipment that Edward has released over the years. The Music Mans, the PVs, the EVH Gear, the amps, everything, is you can play any kind of style of music with the stuff, especially with the 5153 amps now.
Yeah.
There's so many different sounds you can get out of that stuff.
I agree. The what I will I'll also add is you don't necessarily need pedals either, because with this volume knob here, you get so many different sounds. First of all, you have 3 channels in the amplifier. And then when you use the volume knob, you can get like a myriad of sounds and different textures just by using that volume knob. And with a 3-way switch, there's 3 more sounds there. There's a lot of sounds before it even goes through any type of pedal. So, I just, just play with it. Play with the amp, play with your volume knob. And play with the tone knob too. It's actually, sit down and play your guitar and think about it. Just think about it and play. Use everything on the guitar before you even touch a pedal, and it'll open your mind to a lot of different things.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and so will Starbucks in the morning. Definitely. Extra strong. Hey, Will. Will is saying, hey. Hey, man. Yeah. Yeah, that's the thing, man. I mean, last night the band that I played with, we were basically doing I was gonna say instrumentals. Actually, we did one instrumental. But originals. We were doing originals of of this singer that I was playing with. If you guys want to check out her music, go to musicbytc.com. Wow.
Mm-hmm.
My Twitter went off right when I said that. Wow. Music by, as in BYTC, as in the letters TC.com. And you can check out her site, her music. So anyway, so we did some of her original stuff. We did some covers. And I guess that would have been it. But, I was using this guitar. And, I mean, of course, it sounded great. Was awesome. But you can play, these guitars. You can play an Eddie Van Halen guitar. You can play an EVH Gear, Wolfgang, a Stripe Series, any of that stuff. And you don't have to play Van Halen music.
Mm-hmm. That's right.
You can play anything. You can play whatever you want. What's up? RMG 471? Is that right? What's up, dude? Yo.
Neil Hanna asks, out of the Music Man, Fender, or PV, which guitar do you like the best? I own all 3, and I love the Music Man the best. I still own a green and pink Music Man. Well, first of all, the green and pink Music Man are the 2 of the coolest colors you can get. They're very rare and awesome. Me personally, I like the EVH Wolfgang. You know, the USA Wolfgang. Out of all three, I've owned every version of Eddie Van Halen's guitars that you can even imagine. I just got rid of my Music Man. I have a bunch of PVs. I have a bunch of the EVHs, and you know, as you can see, I'm holding an EVH, and I love it. They're my favorite guitars.
Yes. RMG471 is saying that he needs to change his screen name so it's easier to read for us. What is your name? I thought YouTube made it where you had to use your real name, but apparently not. Apparently you can just troll and troll and troll all you want.
I don't think RMG is a troll, though.
Well, no, I'm not saying it. I'm not saying them. I'm just saying in general.
Oh, in general.
Yeah. YouTube was making it where you had to use your real names, and it would cut down on trolling. You know, or maybe because you had to. I don't know. I don't remember. But
Scott812 says, "Hey guys, hey Scott.
Hey, I've always used my real name everywhere. So everywhere you go, if you see a Johnny Bean, most likely that's me, unless it's not me, unless it's another one. Because they're coming out of the woodwork now. They're everywhere now. You know, like I said, remember when that guy said that I died? Remember that?
Yeah.
Remember that guy on Facebook said "Rip Johnny Bean," and all you guys went crazy on the guy, and he blocked all you guys. Remember that?
That's right.
Remember that?
He blocked me and made a mean meme.
He started making videos of everybody, like saying stuff.
Why does everyone hate me?
Remember that?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, that just proves that he was watching this, because what I had said right before he did, like the day before, is where he got that. I had said that there were a bunch of I was the first person with this name on the internet for years, you know? So pretty much every page, I mean, everybody's on Facebook now, but what am I trying to say? Anyway, there's other ones out there with my same name now, but there wasn't. What am I even saying? You guys know what I'm saying? I forget. It's Monday. Come on. I'm so tired, man. I'm so exhausted. I mean, I had that gig last night. I drove up there. Basically, I got to Oakland. There was another event going on at the venue, so I couldn't go in. I had to sit in my car for an hour before I could go into the venue. I get in there. Finally, we do the whole thing. Takes me an hour and a half to come back. I had that chicken chalupa thing last night. I wake up this morning like, oh, man, I've had a rough day.
Oh.
Wow. Yeah.
Let me call the ambulance to take you to the hospital.
Oh, no. The ambulance. Oh, man. Where's that snare drum? No. All I'm saying though is screen names. There it is. I use my name everywhere. That's what I'm trying to say, is I don't hide behind any other screen names or anything like that. So if he's, that's what I'm saying. So, but yeah, I thought YouTube, I thought they made it to where you had to use a real name now, but apparently that's not the case, because look, there's guys here with not real names.
Yes.
You know?
Mm-hmm. I understand.
I don't know. How many eggs did I get today? Steve Anderson says 1.
What color was it?
It's in the yard. It's pink. Our chickens, we've got chickens. They don't just lay in the coop. They actually lay them in the yard too. So there's one. I'll have to pick it up when I go out and shut their door, which I should probably do sometime soon, because it is getting dark out there.
It's going to be real good for you on Easter. You know, you can have like an egg hunt, and they're already colored.
Yeah, there's blue ones, pink ones, orange ones.
There you go, Will. Will wanted to see this guitar again.
Dude, that's the guitar right there, man. Hmm. That's a USA.
Yes.
Yeah, yeah. The USA EVH Gear Wolfgang guitars. I've said this before. They're solid, totally solid.
Yeah.
I got to play a couple of them at the NAMM show this year. There's a video on my channel here. Just search NAMM 2017, and it was solid. What else can I say?
I don't know. It's a great guitar.
Oh, totally amazing. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. I look at this guitar and you have to look at it up close because I mean it's not only is it beautiful. That's one thing. Beauty is one thing, but I just think the construction is killer. There's the way the neck fits in the pocket in the route. It's everything fits perfectly. It just looks like it's been gone over with a fine tooth comb. It's amazing. These guitars are so, except for that ding I just put in it.
Oh no.
Yeah, they're great. They're really amazing.
Well, you know me. You know, as far as looks, as far as a guitar and looks, I don't care at all what a guitar looks like, you know. But as far as, you know, construction, as far as being able to, you know, put it through, you know, its paces or whatever, that guitar, it's incredible.
Mm-hmm.
Incredible. But they all are, though. They all
Yeah.
are. Everyone. The specials, the standards, all of them. Every
Yeah.
guitar, every model guitar that Edward Van Halen has put out, with either it be Ernie Ball, Music Man with Peavey, even the Kramer stuff. Even though none of that was officially, there was never an official model, you know. But it's all, everything that guy's put his name on has been quality stuff.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And it's just gotten better and better and better.
Yeah. Will Dunham asks if this is the vintage amber finish. I think it's just called natural. I think it's called the natural flame top. I don't think it's called amber. And Bozeke and Mary Joan asked if this is a USA. Yes, it is. This is a USA archtop Wolfgang. Bozeke actually asked if it's a USA custom. It's not a custom. They're just called, you know, archtop USA Wolfgangs. The custom is going to be a
Hardtail.
not only a hardtail, but it's going to be a set neck construction where this is bolt on. Yes, and it's also the custom is also most likely going to have a bone nut and not a Floyd nut. Although I think they do it both ways. You can either get it with a bone nut, and I think that's called the Custom Deluxe. And I think just the custom itself has the Floyd nut, but it's still a hardtail with fine tuners on it.
Mm-hmm. 1550 Fly Guy says, Johnny, you really have not played a Kramer 84? I have. Are you talking about the Music Yo? The Music Yo Kramer 84s, or the ones now? I guess. The Gibsons. I don't know what the question is, but let me just say the Music Yo Kramers, the Gibson Kramers, none of those are official Van Halen guitars. None of them. And they're not even they're not like Kramers back when Kramers were Kramers. It's just a name. It's just they just have the name, and they're making the guitars now.
Yes.
And we don't even know if they're even still making them now. Remember, was it Pixie Licks? Pixie Licks? He made a video talking about how he was wondering if Kramer was even still, if Gibson was still even doing Kramer,
Hmm.
because I remember couple years ago we went to the Gibson room, not me and him together, but we both went individually, and there was a bunch of Kramers there. You know, the one for the guy from what's the band?
Satchel,
Satchel, what are they called?
the Kramer Pacers. Oh,
No, the band.
yeah.
Satchel's band.
Hmm.
Um, um,
Steel Panther.
Steel Panther. Okay. Yes. Yeah. Um, there was a bunch of different, Kramers in the Gibson room. I think it was a couple years ago. Like all these new guitars, and there was a, I guess what they called an '84 with the big banana headstock, and there was all in like fluorescent colors and stuff. None of those are Eddie Van Halen. They're based on like that Kramer '84 there that you would have seen. Is that of course that was based on Eddie's guitar, but that wasn't, you know, that's not an official Eddie guitar.
Right. There was never an official Eddie Van Halen Kramer guitar. Never. The 5150 guitar was a custom guitar. It was not a Kramer Beretta. The Beretta was made from that guitar. It was a custom Pacer special. And there were none of those because you never saw a maple neck hockey stick headstock that wasn't tilted back. You never saw it with all maple. You just never saw it exactly the way Eddie's guitar was. It was only the one. I mean, Eddie had a bunch of them, but there was never one that you could buy.
It was just the ones that he had.
Yes, they were custom made for Eddie only.
The 5150, the 1984, meaning
Yes.
his.
Mm-hmm.
How did you guys know that guitar?
The one that has the 1984 space tape on it.
There's a scene in the Panama music video. There's one scene of him playing the 1984.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
No kidding.
Yeah. How else would you guys know that guitar? It's just
Well, if you saw the 5150 1986 tour, it's the song he used to play Good Enough on. The only song he used for that song.
Yeah,
the only guitar he switched guitars just for that song.
Yeah, or even here's a better thing. You guys remember the show in Detroit? The guy that won the Lost Weekend with Van Halen contest, there was pro shot footage of some of that. And the very ending where they come out and they give him the cake and they, throw it in his face and everything, they're playing Ain't Talking About Love. The guitar Edward is playing in that pro shot footage, that's the 1984.
Yep.
So that's what that is. But
it's right over my shoulder here. That guitar that my thumb is right on top of is the 1984 guitar.
That's one that you have.
Yes, right there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So anyway, yeah. So as far as the Kramer stuff now, the stuff that Gibson makes, it's not the same as it's still good. It's still good stuff, but it's not. When I think of Kramer, I think of the guitar that I learned on, the Kramer Focus 1000 back years ago. And of course, what else do I have? The Ripley. I've got a Kramer Ripley.
Yes.
We
both.
Yeah. Yeah. Somebody said something though. What?
There's a guy on Facebook that's selling the number 3. Yours is number 5. Someone is selling number 3. It's a black Ripley that looks just like yours, and it's number 3, signed by. It's etched in by Steven.
Really?
Yeah, etched in number 3.
Etched in.
Etched in, yeah, in the neck plate.
Oh, that's cool.
It says Steve Ripley, number 3.
Oh, wow. Really? I'll have to
Yeah,
check it out.
it's a D serial number. So it's a Kramer neck plate that's got a D serial number, and then it's got, you know,
Wow.
underneath it says Stephen Ripley #3.
Hmm. Mine doesn't have any. Mine is just 0005. There's no alphabet number letter. Um, although mine is signed by Gary Kramer. Thank you. Yeah, yeah, Gary. Yeah, he's good friends with my friend Mike Gutierrez.
Mm-hmm.
Um, yeah, yeah. We're gonna go down and see Gary at some point very soon. We're gonna get him on here, and he's gonna tell some stories. So we'll let you guys know when that's happening. We just have to make it happen. That's the thing. We just have to get together and drive down because it's he's only like 2 hours away from me. He's not far. There was a question somebody asked I was gonna address, but this thing moves so fast I can't.
Well, there's a couple of questions. First of all, Will Dunham asked a little earlier in the chat if Eddie Van Halen played a Kramer Striker guitar, and to my knowledge, he's never played a Kramer Striker. But I mean, I'm sure he's maybe picked one up at the Kramer factory and strummed it and said, "Ugh," you know. But his guitars are not Kramer Strikers by any means.
Oh, come on, man. What if this guy just got a Kramer Striker and he's excited and you just said that?
I'm just telling you. First of all, I'm not going to lie to anyone. That's my opinion.
Right there, you're lying. Come on.
No, that's not the truth. Also, Ron Pio says, Dave, Johnny, do you have a preference between maple or versus ebony fretboards? I like them both. In fact, I like all three. I like rosewood as well. It depends on the guitar and the style of music that I'm playing, and it just depends. You know, I like rosewood fretboards on Stratocasters. You know, but when I'm playing one of these, I love the ebony fretboard, and when I'm playing a Kramer or a PV Wolfgang, I love the way the maple feels. It really just depends on what guitar I'm playing. I like them all equally.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, yeah. They're all great. They're all great. I mean, there's so many great combinations of parts and woods and gear and pickups, and I mean, it's all good. But you know, if you love playing the guitar, you know, just play whatever you have.
Right.
You know, if you just happen to, if all you have is a Kramer Striker guitar, play it.
Well, yeah, absolutely. And I'm just, you know, I'm saying, me personally, as you know, as of right now. But you know, when I first started playing, if it was a beginner guitar, Kramer Striker is a great guitar as a beginner, or even an intermediate guitar for an intermediate player. You know, I'm not putting it down, but you know, compared to what Eddie plays and all the guitars that I play, and you know, it's not as good. That's all I'm saying, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Also, 5150 Fly Guy says, okay, Dave, dumb question. What do you think would sound better, the Kramer 1984 or the Musicraft build? He's keeping the build just basic. I've never played a Kramer 84 guitar. I'm sure they sound good. I have plenty of Musicraft guitars here, and they all sound amazing. And they're all very good quality. So I'm going to go with these, but I really can't give you a definite answer because I never played a Kramer 84.
Mm-hmm. Well, I mean, if we're talking about Kramer Strikers, those are, where were those made?
Korea.
You sure?
Well, the very first ones were made in
Japan.
The very first ones were Japan. Then they started making them in Korea.
Okay.
You know, any of those Japanese ones, they're great. The Focuses and the Japanese Strikers, they were all very good because they all had real Floyd Roses on them. They all had real parts on them, like real good parts, the ones that you would find on the American guitars, they just, they were built in Japan, and they had, maybe the striker would have, instead of having a double locking Floyd Rose with a nut, it would have a non fine tuning Floyd Rose on it. So that would be the difference, and it would have a plastic nut versus a locking nut on it. So that's one of the differences. But as far as quality, they'd be very good quality.
Mm-hmm. Howie, yes, Howie's here. Look, everybody. Hey, man. Look, you're on TV.
What's TV?
He wants his W's in. Yeah, I had a striker. I had a Kramer striker. Which one did I have? I mean, this was years ago. I'm not sure if I had the one from Korea or the Japanese one, but either way, regardless, the budget, if you want to call it the budget stuff, nowadays has gotten a lot better. Lot better.
Mm-hmm.
You know.
Cool. The Vigilant says, "Hey Dave, how are the Wolfgang standard necks compared to the specials or the USA?" Well, the USA and the special necks are going to be quarter sawn. Now, what that means is the necks are going to be more sturdy because of the way they're cut. There's going to be when you cut the necks out of a piece of wood, if you cut it quarter sawn, you're going to have less necks out of one piece of wood, but a better quality piece of neck, a better sturdier piece of wood. Whereas on the standards, they're flat sawn, so you may have a prettier piece of wood because when it's flat sawn, you can see the wood grain, and you can see if there are birds or any type of movement or flame. But they're not going to be as sturdy. They're not going to be as stiff as a quarter sawn neck. Plus, these necks also have those graphite rods in them, and so do the special necks. But I don't believe that the standards do.
Mm-hmm. Let's see. Ron says he had one with the Floyd with no fine tuners. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. I remember those.
Yeah, they were cool. Let's take a look at that Stratocaster you got there, Johnny.
You want to see that?
Yeah, I really do.
You've never seen that?
I've never seen that guitar, no.
Yeah, I've had it like in storage for like 2.5 years. I just got it out. What? A couple days ago. Yeah, here, let me grab it real quick. Show it to you guys. Okay. Let's see. I don't know if you guys can see that.
Yeah.
Wait, I don't know if you guys can hear me. Here we go. Yeah, this is basically just a custom Strat that a friend of mine built. I've had this since 1996. So he built it, I guess it would have been around that time. Yeah. And it was totally red when I got it, and it's just after all the years the paint's just come off, and but yeah, it's just a Fender.
Dude, that's cool. That's totally a cool guitar. I don't know
Part of
why
the
you
gig
don't play
bag
that
hanging
more
off
often.
there. Huh?
I don't know why you don't play that guitar more often. That's a cool guitar.
This was my main guitar actually for quite a while. And the light. This was my main. This was my main axe for a long time.
Yeah, look at that.
You
Strung
like
through
that?
the body. That's awesome.
Oh yeah,
Hmm.
yeah,
That's really cool.
yeah.
I'm sure it sounds great.
Oh yeah, oh yeah. I've recorded with it many, many times for years and years. I mean, all the wear is actually from me. It was a brand new guitar when I got it.
Look at
So
that. That's
so you
insane.
can
That's amazing.
I've actually played this thing for years.
Dude, that's like real. That's like a vintage guitar. That's amazing.
And I'm blurry. Where am I? Here I am. Yeah. Oh yeah, yeah, it's a great guitar. I mean, it was my main guitar.
I can't believe I've never seen that guitar. I've known you for geez, almost 4 years now, and I've never seen that guitar.
Really?
Yeah.
Check. Check. Um yeah, well maybe when I lived up in San Ramon, if you go back and watch any videos when I lived in San Ramon, you'd probably see it in the background there. Here, you probably wouldn't see it because I had it in storage basically the whole time I've lived here. I just happened to go up there. I was looking around and I found it, and I'm like, huh, you know. And that's I took it as a backup yesterday.
Hmm. Captain Mike says the Wolfgang standards do have the graphite rods, and they feel great. Well, good. I'm glad they have those rods in them. I didn't, I wasn't sure, but I know they do feel great. I'm just saying that that flat sawn, no matter what company it is, flat sawn is not as sturdy as quarter sawn. But with the graphite rods in it, it should be fine anyway. There should be no movement, if any, at all.
Hmm. Cool. Can't go wrong with a Strat. 50 Fly Guy says. The Vigilant says nice. A real relic. Ron says. Mr. BHB Junior says, yeah, I know. I love my Strat. A lot of Strat fans. Yeah, yeah, Strats are great. They're great. I mean, it's it's fun to play guitar,
What else
isn't
can you say?
it?
What else
There's
can you say?
so many
Scratch it
sounds
away.
you can, Yeah, yeah, yeah. Whenever I get into that guitar, that Strat, um, usually when I pick that up, I end up recording with it. I end up doing a lot of things with it, and it becomes my main guitar for a while. Is
Right.
usually what happens. I mean, just look at the wear on it. I mean, you can tell, you know. Um,
When?
but, huh? But also that guitar. Oh, look, there's yours. That guitar though. A friend of mine, the friend of mine that built that, his name is well, I won't say his real, I won't say his
Well,
whole
I
name.
would say.
Well, his name's Ron. His name's Ron, and he used to build guitars for what was his name? Tim Armstrong.
Who's that?
He's in this band called Rancid, which is a local band out here. If you guys know who they are, they're pretty big. But um, he would build guitars for him, and then he would build. Um, actually, Billy Joe Armstrong was actually interested in some guitars that Ron had. I remember.
Hmm.
We worked at the shop in Berkeley. This was back 20 years ago, and Billy Armstrong would come in, and he would ask like, "Hey, where's Ron?" Um, I think they were recording. If you guys are Green Day fans, they were recording. What's Nimrod? I think was the album, the one that had the acoustic "Time of Your Life" song on it.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. They used to come into the shop. Oh yeah, Rancid. John, you know who Rancid is? Yeah, Tim Armstrong from Rancid, the guy who, my friend who built that guitar. He used to build guitars for him, and my sister used to hang out with him, Tim, in Berkeley all the time. All my sisters hang out with all those guys back in the early '90s.
How many sisters do you have?
I got three. Well, I have four sisters, but three of them, no, two of them. Two of them actually used to hang out. All their friends were in all the Green Day videos back from the early '90s. You know, I would run in like all the actors from the videos. I'd run into them all the
Yeah.
time because they're all friends of friends. You know, if you guys remember that Geek Stink Breath video or whatever, where the guy at the dentist, the guy in the seat at the dentist, I ran into him at a movie theater in Oakland one time. He was a friend of my sister's.
Hmm.
Anyway, this is Green Day chat, everybody.
Scotty P wants to see this strat one more time.
Yeah, look at that.
Frost gold over pink paisley.
With a dent. Dude, RMG 471. I've never refretted any of my guitars. Never, and that's my problem. You wouldn't believe the damage on all my guitars are so messed up, and I still continue to use them. You know, this guitar right here, that guitar technically needs to be totally set up, probably refretted. I used it last night; it was fine, but you know, I'm used to playing guitars that aren't set up correctly, just because I never get them set up.
Hmm. You should
You
really
know?
learn how to do it.
Well, yeah, I guess. I guess. I mean, I know how to do this, and I know how to do basic stuff, but you know,
Hmm.
yeah. But yeah, I'm sure if I had this guitar right here refretted and totally set up,
You wouldn't use any other guitar. You'd be using just that.
it would be night and day. I know.
Yeah.
I know. I've gotten so used to the way it's set up, and it's not set up correctly. But I've played it that way for uh, over a decade. You know, but I mean, in a way that's not so terrible because I can play anything. You know, whereas Dave, you'll pick that up and you'll be like, oh man, this needs to be set up. You won't even touch it, right? For me, I can basically play anything because I'm used to all kinds of different action and whatever, you know.
Yeah, I know what you mean. I know what you mean. And you know what? That's, if you can play any guitar, I mean, if you're a real good guitar player, you can play any guitar, any setup. Me, I have pansy hands. I can play guitar as long as it's set up the way I
Pansy
like it.
hands. That's another guy. You Rancid and Green Day fans. Do you guys remember a band called Pansy Division? You guys remember them? Now we're going way back, man. Now we're really talking Berkeley, California. That was the scene out here. You know, my sisters were in the scene uh, before Green Day released their first before they released Dookie.
Hmm.
They used to go and see them at Gilman Street. Yeah, we were around all that stuff for years, man. All that stuff. It's crazy, man.
That is crazy.
Yeah. Are there bands like in the scene where you are? Are there bands that you would go and see, or that your friends would go and see, and the next thing you know, they become like one of the biggest bands in the world? Are there any bands like that?
Um, Trying to think. No. I mean, you might want to. Oh boy, no, no.
Hmm. I guess it depends on where you are. I mean, out here, the scene out here, there's so many bands from this area that you guys would know of, you know. And I'm not talking about just the ones that have been around, like Journey, like well, there's Counting Crows was another one. I mean, there's so many. Um, well, hey, uh, Grateful Dead, they're from here. You know, Santana. Um, there's so many bands from this area, from the Bay Area, or just from California in general, I guess. But there's so many musicians, there's so many people that I've known over the years that have gone on to to have like major record deals and all that stuff, you know. Well, even I had one, you know. There you go. If I can do it, anybody could do it. Come on. You know. But yeah, I have so many friends that have been in bands that you guys would either have heard of, or they've played with so and so, or
Oh, well, yeah, I have
whatever,
I
you
have
know.
friends like that too. But I thought you meant just friends that I've known that that then became in band. Had bands that made it huge. You know what I'm saying? Like, I mean,
Yeah. Well, I mean, yeah, I mean, there's the music scene where you're in the scene and this guy knows that guy
because
and
like guys like Larry Mitchell, I've known him since 1990, but he's been in everyone's band. He's played with Billy Squier, he's played with Tracy Chapman, he's played with everyone.
mhm.
But I knew him before. Well, I guess he was in Billy Squier's band when I met him. But um, Steve Brown, from Trickster, he's a good friend of mine as well, and he's in Def Leppard when Vivian can't do it. He's on retainer with Def Leppard. So I guess even though he's not playing every show, he's on retainer. He gets paid. So and he's still in Trickster as well.
Mhm. Mhm.
Guys like that. And I hate throwing names around. So I don't know. These are just buddies of mine. I hate that it sounds like I throw names. I hate it.
You're like Bob,
Yeah.
Bill, Troy.
Yeah.
I hate throwing names around. Bruce. Um, yeah. No, I know. I mean, yeah, when you're in a scene, you play music. Yeah, you meet a lot of people and you make a lot of friends, and you have friends that know friends. Like I know so many. I mean, yeah, maybe I should hate saying this stuff too, but no, I know people that I know a guy, I know somebody. What do you call it? The Kevin Bacon thing.
6 degrees.
The connections. That's the thing is I can't. There's so much stuff I can't tell you guys on here. You know,
Then
can't or won't.
Yeah. Then don't even bring it up.
But I'm not going to name names. But let me just say, I know somebody who knows somebody in No Doubt who plays with them. You know, well the connections are so crazy. It's so weird. It's so
Who are
weird. It's so you don't know who that is?
Yes, I do.
Okay, well,
They're just
I heard
another 90s band.
I heard of them before their record came out because I was working with a singer, and I'm not even talking about her. I knew a singer who grew up with them down in Orange County, maybe it was Anaheim, maybe wherever they're from. I remember we were working on music, and this was back before their album, before No Doubt. So this would have been 2005, 2004, somewhere. And she had just moved up here from Orange County, and she was like, she's like, have you heard of this band called No Doubt? And I'm like, no, because it was right before that their Spider Webs or whatever came out, their first song. And I remember she was telling me about them and like, oh, you're gonna hear about them, they're gonna be everywhere. And the next thing you know, there they are, you know. But no, I know somebody else. I'm not gonna tell you their connection. I'll tell you after we're done, but I know somebody who's got this. It's insane.
Awesome set of tools.
It's awesome, man. I mean, it's cool, but I know somebody who knows somebody who plays for another huge band. I mean, it's just the list goes on and on and on. It's
Well, Citizen Kane says, Johnny, Dave, how many hours a day do you put in playing guitar now? And how much did you used to put in the past? Citizen, I will tell you the truth. I don't play every day. I used to. There are days that I don't even pick up a guitar. There are days where I play for 8 hours. But like today, this is the first time during the whole day that I played guitar. That I even held a guitar. But yesterday I played for I want to say 3 or 4 hours. So it changes every day. It's not always as easy as you think to play all day. When I was younger, I'd play, boy, 6, 7, 8 hours a day. But not anymore. Can't do it. Just not enough time. There's not enough hours in the day to always pick up a guitar. I'd like to, but I can't.
Name names, Johnny. Richard says. Yeah. That's one of the things with with talking on the internet like this. You have to be careful what you say, and there's things there's things you don't say, I don't tell you guys everything because I can't. It's not that I can't. It's just I wouldn't. There's certain things you keep to yourself, and but as far as playing the guitar every day or whatever, for me it's different. For me, it's not like I'm trying to be Yngwie or I'm trying to be some guy. I'm not trying to be the next Jason Becker or Van Halen or Lynch or whatever. That's not my thing. So if you play, for hours and hours to do that, that's great. For me, when I pick up the guitar, if I'm not playing a show like last night, when I pick up the guitar, it's pretty much it's to write music. I do enjoy playing the guitar for what it is. But I look at it more now as a tool just to create with. That's how I look at it. If I get a sound in my head, not just the ringing in my ears, but if I get a melody, which actually I woke up with something this morning, I should have put it down. I didn't. I woke up, I had like a hit song in my head this morning, and I just listened to it in my head as I was waking up, and I'm just like, yeah, that's cool. And then it's gone. It's gone, man.
I hate when that happens.
Yeah. Yeah. But no, for me, I love playing the guitar. I love, it's awesome. It's the best. It really is the best. But I look at it now as a way a vehicle to get out music onto tape. It's just I just happen to play the guitar. If I could play piano, I'd be playing piano. I'd be making music on piano. I'd be playing cello. I would play just any instrument. I would play just any whatever I can do to make music with. I'll do that to make music. Does that make any sense?
Sure.
I guess. Yeah. So for me, it's a tool. For me, it's a tool to make music. For me, it's not. I'm not trying to be the next fastest guitar player around. That's not my thing, and it never was. That was never my thing ever. I just happened to get into Edward Van Halen because of the movie Back to the Future. The Van Halen licks, on the cassette tape that Marty played. That's how I got into that band, and eventually got into his gear, the Music Man, the PV, the EVH Gear stuff, the stuff now, the stuff I love.
Which brings us to Scotty 8112's question: PV Wolfgang Special versus EVH Special. Any help with quality? What do you guys think? I own both, and I love them both. I think the quality on both is great. The PV Wolfgang, the USA Special is great. I've never played the Made in Korea Special, but I think I would imagine they're good as well. But the EVH Special, I own one. I love it. And the PV Wolfgang Specials, I have two of them. I have a green Special flame top, and I have one that's striped like Eddie's guitar. They're both fantastic. So if you can get both, fantastic. If you find yourself getting one or the other, you're good both ways. They're both great.
Mm-hmm. What was the question?
PV Wolfgang Special or EVH Gear Special?
If you had to pick one, or what's the quality
No,
like
you
between the
wanted to
two?
know the difference in quality.
I don't own a PV Special. I've played them. They're great. Personally, I like the EVH Gear Special better. You know,
Well,
and
you're
I
not
know
a fan of the PV. You're really not a fan of the PV guitar. It's not that you're not a fan of it. It's not your favorite in the EVH line. It isn't. It's a good guitar, right? But it's not your favorite.
it's a good guitar. It's just I was never the neck. For some reason, the neck.
I got
Just
you.
I don't. I think
It
it was that
doesn't
thing.
agree with you.
That thing you were talking about 6 hours ago when we started this video. The radius thing, I think, is what it is. Maybe.
Well, listen, it's a valid point for you because you just don't care for it, and that's fine. But we're talking. I think he's just strictly talking about quality.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I think the quality of both guitars are impeccable. They're both great. It doesn't matter to me that the EVH gear is made in Mexico. It doesn't matter. The quality is fantastic. If
Oh man, that gold top, special from Mexico.
Yeah, that's what I'm getting at.
Amazing, man.
Yes, the PV is made in America, and that's also fantastic quality. It really is. But I think both are equal in quality. Pick the one you want. Actually, get the EVH because you can get them. They're being made now.
You can get them brand new.
You can get them brand new.
It'll be easier to get one. 802 Blues. Billy Joe, as in Billy Joe Armstrong from Green Day, has a guitar shop that he runs in the San Francisco area. That's true. 802 Blues. Yes. Yes. I keep meaning to go over there, actually. It's called, what's it called? I'm sure you guys could look it up. Broken Guitars, maybe? There's a little shop in Oakland that Billy Joe Armstrong owns now. He's probably there, actually, all the time. I think it's called Broken Guitars. I keep meaning to swing by there every time I'm up there, but every time I'm up in that area, I'm so busy. Man. Thanks for reminding me, though. 802 Blues. I'm gonna have to swing by. I'll be up in Walnut Creek next week. I'll have some time. Maybe next Thursday. Well, not this Thursday. Maybe next Thursday. I can actually swing through there. Take some pictures for you guys.
Cool. 10:03 Eastern Standard Time right now. 53 people watching. We have 49 thumbs ups.
Nice.
We need to get a couple more. We need a couple more thumbs ups. What do you guys say? Guys, a couple more.
Howie's chewing on this toy he just brought out because he's itching for his W. Don't chew through my cable. All right. I think we should start winding down. I think we should start saying goodbye.
Okay, bye.
Or just for now. For now. Good night, maybe. Come back.
Come back Wednesday on Wolfgang Wednesday, where we can show you Telecasters. We'll show you Telecasters and Les Pauls on Wolfgang Wednesday.
Nice, awesome. Nice. Okay, all right. I think we got, but yeah, I got to tuck the chickens in, and yeah, that's right. Yeah, Johnny's got to feed the chickens, and he has to feed his cats. So, nice. Thank you everybody for tuning in. Thank you for hanging out with us.
We got 57 thumbs up. Boy, that was a lot. Thank you so much. Can we get 60 by the time we actually get off here? Come on, 3 more.
Good night,
Scott. More, and we'll say good night.
Good night, Desiree.
Good night, Desiree.
Good night, the Blash music. Good night, Leanne.
Good night, everybody.
I have chickens. Yes, they're outside. Yes.
58. All right. Come on, 2 more. 2 more. We'll say good night to everybody.
I can't even see them. So for me, it says 21 because I haven't refreshed anything.
Oh, we just lost one.
Huh? Billy is on the cover. He said he is not on tour. 802 Blues says when Billy Armstrong is not on tour, he's hanging out at the shop. Okay, cool. Maybe I'll see him. I've met him so many times over the years. Yeah, my sisters used to go to his birthday parties years ago. Yeah. Not that I'm dropping names or anything, but
No, not at all.
yeah. I used to see all those guys. I sold a guitar to Trey Cool, the drummer in Green Day one time. Oh, this was years ago. This is 20 years ago. I sold a guitar to him. I'm at a Barnes and Noble one day. I open up a Spin magazine, and there's a photo of them in a bathtub. There's the guitar in the bathtub with them, just getting trashed.
Say goodnight, Gracie.
Pretty cool. All right. Good night, everybody. Oh, no. Okay. Oh, well. If we get thumbs downs, it just means, you've still watched. So it's all
Yeah,
good.
I don't care anymore.
So,
It's fine.
all right. Rock and roll, everybody. Thank you for watching. Thank you for hanging out. And go out and buy an EVH Gear guitar.
Yes.
Go do it.
Right now.
Yes. Hurry.
Have someone open a store for you.
Guitar Center closes in 2 hours out here in California. Go out there and buy go buy a Wolfgang Standard. You'll love it. All right. See you guys.
Bye-bye, everyone.